You know, for some who tried to write a narrative about the future of the party, I often point out in the last 2 years, if you look at states like Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, Nevada, New Mexico, those are all states that Barack Obama carried in the presidential election, and all states led by Republican governors today. And that really shows to me the future of the party is in our states, and it's with our governors and our state leaders who, as each of my colleagues just pointed out, are leading the way. If you look statistically, and this has been true, I remember I looked at this before the convention speech 2 years ago. At that time, in September of 2012, and it's been pretty much consistent since then, the unemployment rate in states led by Republican governors is about 1 point lower, about 1 point better than it is in states led by Democrats. And some might say, well, that's, you know, red states like Texas and North and South Dakota. That's true, but it's also states like Michigan and Ohio and Wisconsin that, in our case, for example, we had, at the beginning of 2010, a 9.2% unemployment rate. Today we're at 5.8%, much like these governors here, and whether it's in Florida with the massive drop, whether it's in Michigan or Ohio or other states across the country, Republican leadership makes a difference. And we saw it again, excuse me, just last week, when the Chief Executive Magazine rankings came out. Not only are 10 of the top 10 states, 14 of the top 15, 18 of the top 20. I mean, it's pretty hard to look at and disregard the facts that overwhelmingly, in ranking after ranking, states that do well are states that are led by Republicans. And I think that's why, as was mentioned, 36 races for governor this year, 22 states where they're up have Republican governors, 19 of us as incumbents are up on the ballot this year. And I think we have a tremendous opportunity to keep each of those 22 seats, and at the same time, in states like my neighbor, Illinois, make a convincing case to the people in Illinois that they want to be more like Wisconsin and not the other way around, or states just across the way like Connecticut, where you've got a governor who had signed into law the biggest tax increase in that state's history. I think voters in states like that are hungry for new leadership. We've tried to show the path that's not just in traditional red states, but as Chris won last year in a blue state, Republican leadership can make a difference, not just for Republicans, but for independents and discerning Democrats who realize in the end, what we're lacking in Washington is leadership, and what we see successfully happening in the states is Republican leaders standing up and providing leadership for all of our citizens in our states.